Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today we have another episode of testing hyped up niche fragrances, but it is already the follow-up. So I did a first impression on all the fragrances, but I lost the video somehow. So today actually is my final thoughts on very hyped niche fragrances, and let me tell you, it is the best episode yet. So I have only one fragrance that I disliked, that I wouldn't recommend. The rest is stunning. So many gorgeous fragrances that are definitely worth the hype. So let's jump in. This is episode 7. Usually I go through 12 fragrances. I do a first impression and then a follow-up. Today is a follow-up. I have no first impression, as I said. All the previous episodes you will find in a playlist in the description down below, as well in the eye up here. If you want an honest opinion on very expensive, hyped, niche fragrances, then definitely check the previous episodes. Today, I thought that the last episode was my most successful one, but definitely this one, let me tell you, blew my mind. So let's go through the fragrances from my least favorite to my most favorite. On number 12, the only fragrance that I would definitely not recommend is from Bond number 9. This is Bleecker Street Downtown. I just don't like this fragrance at all as a scent profile. It's definitely masculine. Has a little bit of earthiness because of the oak moss, a little bit of a fruitiness, has a sharp cassis note. To me, this fragrance is a mess. Between the violet, the cassis, the earthiness from the oak moss, some aromatic and woody notes. It's just a big mess for me, and I would not recommend this fragrance also because of the performance issue. It's moderate longevity and sillage. So given the price tag, the performance, and also scent profile, this fragrance is a pass for me. I would not recommend it. I feel like Bond number 9 is a brand that I am not going to test more of. Maybe the one that I am still curious about is Tribeca. I think this is the best seller of the brand. I still have to try that one. But for the rest, this brand is overhyped, overpriced, just no for me. Although some scents are quite nice, but originality, price tag, everything together is just a no for me. Next, I was also sure about this fragrance, and it's from Nishane Wulong Cha. This is a citrusy fresh tea scent that is quite nice. I would say as a tea scent is one of the best, maybe not my favorite, but definitely one of the best, and has good performance when we talk about tea fragrances. But I would not recommend this fragrance given the price tag, and also because although I like the scent, it's not, mind-blowing enough for me to justify paying so much money. But if you love tea, fresh fragrances, I would say check this one because it's one of the best. Main note here that I smell is the citrus, like bergamot, and I don't remember now, I think it was also oranges. I get also a little bit of the fig note, which is quite predominant. To me is a fig tea scent, and the fig here is not too sharp or too predominant. Everything is very well balanced in this fragrance. The only reason that I would not really recommend it or even buy it myself as a fresh fragrance lover is the price tag. So that was a Nishane Wulong Cha. Next is definitely one of my favorites, Gardenia fragrance. Not my number 1, but definitely in the top 5. And this is Gardenia Petal from Van Cleef and Arpels. Yes, I know this is technically not a niche brand, but I always include one high-end private collection in this series. So I'm cheating just a little bit. This is a very simple, easygoing, fresh gardenia fragrance. A clean, soft gardenia. It's not too green, it's not too loud or indolic. It's kind of a signature worthy scent for those who absolutely love Gardenia, and also office friendly scent. I feel like Van Cleef and Arpels in general are the best when it comes to office friendly fragrances in general. Most of the fragrances that I have tested, maybe for the exception of the amber one, are all office friendly scents. It has a beautiful musky base. As I said, it's soft and clean Gardenia, not indolic. Although in the notes they feature green notes, I do not get like this green touch at all. It's just a simple, easygoing, soft, everyday Gardenia fragrance. Definitely recommended for those who love Gardenia and we're looking for a fragrance that has a predominant note of that flower but wanted to be something a little bit office friendly. Next we have a Creed, and it is Wind Flowers. Now, this fragrance I really, really like. This is a white floral fragrance. Predominantly, I smell jasmine here and also orange blossom. These to me are the most predominant notes. It has also some almost like garden-like feeling, like fragrances that I have smelled in the past, like Cartier Cara, like 1932 from Chanel. They are all these floral fragrances that have this fresh garden feeling to it. And I don't mean green, I mean like a bouquet of fresh flowers just picked out of the garden, a little bit wild flowers. So yeah, this gives me the same feeling. I'm not saying that these are similar fragrances in any way. It does have a musky base and a little bit of a woody base. It has in the notes praline, which I don't get at all. It's not a sweet fragrance. I get more fruity sweetness than, like gourmand sweetness in this fragrance. Quite easygoing again, nice white floral fragrance. Office friendly, I would say, and has decent performance, moderate to strong longevity and sillage, very elegant. It's only in number 9 because I do not like the price tag of Creed. So for this fragrance to pay so much money is just not for me, but the fragrance itself is absolutely beautiful. Do I prefer it to the other two that I've mentioned? No. Still now, from these kind of fragrances, my favorite one is 1932 from Chanel that I talked about in my previous episode. Next will be shocking to a lot of people because this fragrance is so loved, so loved in the fragrance community, and it is Blanche from Liquid Imaginaires. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I just don't get it. Sorry guys, I just don't get it. Why this fragrance is so hyped. To me, this is a fragrance that you would like if you love same fragrances like Musk Therapy, Signature from Montblanc, Milk from Commodity. To me, all these, although definitely different fragrances, for the exception, of course, of Musk Therapy and Signature from Montblanc. I have a comparison between the two. Check the description down below. They have this lactonic, milky feeling in them, and they are warm, a little bit on the gourmand side. But I don't know. I can't get the hype. It's milky, it's vanillic, it's warm and cozy winter fragrance for me, at least. And although I absolutely love the perfumer, Louise Turner is one of my favorite perfumers, but I just don't like this one. For me, I would definitely prefer Milk from Commodity over this one. They are not similar again. I mean, in this family, I think the best that I've tested till now is definitely Milk from Commodity. Next fragrance is an orange blossom forward fragrance. Quite a recent-ish release and has quite polarizing reviews. But I happen to actually like it, although an orange blossom fragrance, and it is Valaya from Parfums de Marly. Now, in all these fragrances that have orange blossom in them and are a little bit on the sweet side. I would say, shockingly, this is my favorite one. Not from an objective view, I'm speaking about me personally. This is a fragrance that maybe I would not buy as someone who does not like orange blossom, but I wouldn't mind wearing this fragrance, which is very rare for me when it comes to orange blossom. This is very similar to another fragrance that I spoke about in my previous episode, and it is Ex Nihilo Fleur Narcotique. Fleur Narcotique, from an objective point of view, is one of the best orange blossom fragrance I've ever smelled. Is it something that I personally would wear? No. But I would definitely recommend it for those who love the scent profile. Valaya is the same. However, it does lack in performance. This is quite soft. This is a definite moderate longevity and sillage. So not extremely good in performance department, but the scent profile is very soft and feminine and very, again, wedding-like. I imagine this one on a bride. It smells like the bottle. It's clean, it's fresh and musky and floral, and yeah, just a very, very beautiful bridal fragrance. So I love the scent, but I would definitely recommend Ex Nihilo over this one. However, if Ex Nihilo was too strong, like too sharp for your taste, check Valaya, you may like it in that case. The next 5 I just cannot rank. It's extremely difficult because everyone is special in its own way, and I actually like all of them. So my number 1 is quite clear, but I will just go through the next fragrances without any particular order because to me they are all beautiful. Let's talk about the first one that I have here, and it is Cruz del Sur from Xerjoff 2. Because there is a previous Cruz del Sur. This is such stunning mango, tropical, fruity fragrance. I definitely get the hype. It's really good, and it is the best mango, pineapple, tropical, fruity fragrance I have smelled. Is it something that I would personally wear? I was actually thinking about buying this fragrance, which says a lot because fruity, like strict fruity fragrances is not exactly my type of thing. If you love mango, you love pineapple, you have to check this fragrance. It's really, really something special. I was so surprised how much I love this fragrance, and I was actually thinking about buying it. This is, like, for me, unheard of when it comes to this scent profile. It's really, really nice. However, the scent on my skin becomes a little bit sharp and acidic, which brings us to a note that is present in this fragrance that I personally cannot detect smell-wise, but how it turns on my skin, it's definitely there, and it is milk. Now, as I said, I cannot detect milk when I smell this fragrance out of the paper, not even when I first spray it on my skin. In the dry down, I get a little bit of this sharp, strange, acidic note, which at first I did not look up the note, so I didn't know what it is. And then I discovered it's the milk note. Milk does turn acidic on my skin for some reason. So this is why this fragrance is not in my collection. This is not the only reason. Then I looked up how much this fragrance costs, and I was shocked. This costs an outrageous number for a 50 ml. I mean, if that was only for 100 ml, I was okay. Still expensive, but okay, given the performance, because this is amazing when it comes to performance. But for a 50 ml, like, really? I do not care about packaging, to be honest. So as long as the packaging is nice, is not like really cheap, I do not care. For me, the important thing is the fragrance itself. So that amount for money for this fragrance is definitely not for me. Next, we have a sandalwood fragrance that I heard of from Jus de Rose. Yeah, I love Josephine. I watch every single video of hers. And this is definitely a fragrance that sandalwood lover will absolutely adore. An amazing sandalwood fragrance. It's so elegant and classy. It's niche-like, but not too much, if you know what I mean. It's not over the top, strange or weird or too heavy. It's gorgeous. I get why Josephine loves this fragrance so much. Definitely unisex. You get here mostly the sandalwood, and it's not like this cheap sandalwood that you get in fragrances like Santal 33 and Helvetii and what else? There was another one that has really cheap sandalwood, especially in the base. I don't remember now. I just don't like these cheap synthetic sandalwoods. This is not it. This is so beautiful and creamy. Added to this creaminess is also this benzoin note. Beautiful. So yeah, a little bit of iris, sandalwood, tonka bean. It's just an amazing fragrance that is quite simple and elegant and unisex. Men and women can wear this one. Although I would recommend it more for men than for women. But yeah, for sandalwood lovers, you would love this fragrance, and it's simple enough to be an easy fragrance to be layered. So that fragrance is for me 10 out of 10. Matiere Premiere really surprised me till now. They create simple but high quality fragrances in my opinion. Next we have, oh my god, another fragrance that Josephine hyped so much, and it is Hibiscus Mahajad. Now, personally, I don't like this fragrance. Objectively, it's a great fragrance. So, Hibiscus Mahajad is the same DNA of Delina. So, here is no lychee, but honestly, I smell lychee. And it's not a surprise that it's so similar to Delina because it has the same perfumer who created all the famous lychee rose fragrances on the market. Very good girl from Carolina Herrera, Delina, and also this one, Cuenta Beach. And I just don't like this DNA. I am so sorry. I was never a fan of Delina, so it's not a surprise. I do not like this fragrance. I would say that it is not as synthetic as Delina. Delina is quite like this lychee note is just too much for me. Just too much. Too synthetic, too sharp, too everything. Don't like it in Delina. And here they say it has hibiscus instead of lychee. Like the perfume composition is quite different, but the result is almost the same to me. I will say that I do like this one better than Delina because it's slightly less synthetic and it is also very high quality. Oh my god. Maison Crivelli again is another niche house that has really good quality fragrances. Yeah, so for those who love the DNA of Delina, you will definitely like this one. But I would say you don't need both of these fragrances. If I have to choose one, I would choose this one. But again, this DNA I do not like. The only fragrance that has a little bit of this DNA in my fragrance collection is a Very Good Girl Blush. However, this is a compliment magnet. I wore this fragrance and I knew, because I already know, what people like, and I knew I will get compliments, and I did. But yeah, to me this, I don't know. I just can't stand this DNA. I am so sorry. Next, we have a fragrance that was love at first sniff for me. Another Xerjoff. This is Dolce Amalfi. Oh my god, and still now it's so beautiful. This is a spicy, citrusy, ambery fragrance. It's stunning, and very unique. Never smelled anything like this one. This is for me an underrated gem. Like, everyone talks about Lira, which is also a beautiful scent. Dama Bianca from the Casamurati line. Some speak about Bouquet Dial, which is my favorite from this line, and very, very few people speak about this one, but to me, this is gorgeous. You have to love the scent profile, however. So citrusy, spicy fragrances. So intoxicating. It's an amazing scent. It has this gorgeous smoky touch in the dry down that gives it this mysterious, mystical feeling. Oh my god, it's a masterpiece in my opinion. This fragrance is just amazing. And I was again about to buy it. But then I thought, wait a second. Where am I going to wear this fragrance? And realized that it's again one of these fragrances that I love to smell. Maybe wear it in the house, but it's not a fragrance that I would wear outside because I have no place to go that I would feel comfortable wearing a fragrance like that, because it's very strong. It's quite a strong fragrance, projection-wise and also performance-wise in general. Main notes that I smell here is cloves and Peru balsam. And Peru balsam can go both ways for me. This I love. I really love. But you have to be in a mood. You have to be confident to wear this fragrance. Totally unisex fragrance. And yeah, one of the best from the Casamurati line. Highly recommend it if you love spicy fragrances, you love cloves, you love ambery fragrances. Definitely check Dolce Malfi. It's amazing. Next, we have a gourmand that I would definitely recommend. It is from a brand that I cannot wait to test, but it's so difficult to find samples of that brand, and it is Profumum Roma. Oh, I wanted to test this fragrance for my Italian brand series, which I started this year, but it's so difficult to find a discovery set. So I am trying to gather a sample here and there. It's quite an expensive brand, but from what I tested, this is a high quality brand. And the fragrance that I have in my hand is not an exception. This is Sorriso, or Smile, from Profumum Roma. This is a chocolatey, boozy scent. There is just such an utterly satisfying feeling when you find a high quality fragrance. I cannot describe. It's a very decadent, dark chocolate. This opens up quite on the gourmand sweet side, so you get a lot of this sweet vanilla, like cooking sweet vanilla. Very, very quickly it becomes this dark chocolate fragrance, and to me it smells like melting dark chocolate with a lot of vanilla, and then you sprinkle raw cacao in it. It has this powderiness, especially in this stage. In the dry down, it doesn't smell so gourmandy. It is more on the perfume side, but still the gourmand is there, the chocolate is there, quite predominant and very, very strong. Has a muskiness to it that prevents it to be overly sweet, and it also has this syntheticness in the very dry down. I will not lie, but still doesn't smell cheap. It's a gorgeous composition. If you love chocolate in your fragrances, then definitely check this fragrance. Highly, highly recommended. Has amazing longevity, but not so amazing sillage, which I personally appreciate. When it comes to such a thick, decadent fragrance, I don't want a screamer. I want more of a almost intimate fragrance. But this is me personally, nothing that I've smelled before. I know that people compare this one to Chocolate Greedy from Montal. I did not test this fragrance, or any Montal, I have to say. Yes, I never tested anything from Montal. Yeah, you will have to check Sorriso. It's amazing. Amazing fragrance. Now, are you ready for my number one? And this fragrance, oh my God, I'm obsessed with. It's such a magnificent fragrance. I have no words. And it is Kilian Back to Black. Oh, it's so good. Now I have it here in the dry down. I have to be totally honest. When I first sprayed it, I said, oh my God, I don't like this scent. Actually, I think in my first impression, I remember I ranked it quite low. But wait for this fragrance in the dry down. The dry down is so beautiful, addictive, decadent, sweet, dark. I have no words how gorgeous this scent is. It blew my mind. It literally blew my mind. This is honey, tobacco, cherry. Yeah, I can't stop smiling how it's just so beautiful. You also have some vanilla, you have some spicy touch, and I smell coffee. I know, coffee is not in the notes. I smell coffee for some reason, and I smell like a spicy coffee mixed with tobacco and the vanilla and the sweet honey and the cherry. It's a lot of notes in this fragrance. To me, it's vanilla, it's honey, tobacco, coffee and cherry. This is the main notes that I can smell in this fragrance. And honestly, cherry I would have not picked by myself. It's when I read the notes I got it. You know, sometimes when you read the notes, you start to get more notes in the fragrance. And I have an amazing layering combo that I discovered by pure chance. Layer this one with Dolce Malfi. It becomes a more spicy and slightly fresh fragrance. These two together, perfection. Perfection. Not that this one is not perfect on its own, because it is to me. Oh, I'm in love. I'm in love. I am totally in love. I would highly, 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 highly recommend this fragrance. This is an amazing scent that I would recommend more for men than for women. Not that I cannot wear this fragrance, I actually can. And if they offered a travel size of that fragrance, I would have bought it immediately. But the scent profile is not something that I would wear every day. I have very, very small little occasions to wear a fragrance like that. So for me, a travel size would have been more than enough, but unfortunately, at least on the website, I did not find any travel size of this fragrance. I have to look for someone who offers a decant of it, because I need this in my life, but just in a very small format. The same as Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford, which I have a travel size of, and it's more than enough for me because I wear it maybe once a year. Love the scent, but I have no occasions to wear a fragrance like that. So I wear it rarely, but I do smell it all the time. Open the cap, smell the fragrance. And that one would be the same. For a tobacco fragrance, I actually would recommend this one over Tobacco Vanille. Yes, it's definitely better. Much, much, much better. Has also amazing performance. Oh my God, this stays on your skin forever and ever and ever. The whole day, no problem, and has strong projection. So Back to Black, my favorite fragrance of this episode. Quite a successful episode, I have to say. Please tell me in the comments down below if you have any of these fragrances. What do you think about them? I am mostly curious about Hibiscus Mahajad. What do you think about this fragrance? And also Back to Black if you tested it. And feel free to give me any suggestion in the comments down below for my next episode. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao.